Hey there guys, what's going on? It's NOCK. Welcome along to another video. Yes, another video for me. What are the chances, eh? And I kind of talked myself into this one. I decided I'd whip out a load of my old settings. My home, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys have seen my home, but yeah. This is like my home. Have a look at my home. It's my living room. So yeah, I kind of talked myself into doing this video, and I never thought I'd get this setup out again. But I am ready to get into some racing action, guys. I really like my racing. And yeah, I thought I'd get back into some racing, do like a commentary thing and different bits and pieces, and kind of like cut bits out and, you know, make a bit of like a highlight show for you guys. So the plan is we're going to jump in as sort of like a midfield team on F1 2012. Using my steering wheel setup, as you can see. Got a very professional setup going on here. I've got the Logitech Driving Force GT wheel. As you see, very professionally on Evan's play table, the pedals and everything. So yeah, I used to play this night in, night out. So be interesting though, because I've not played a driving game for a long while. Done any right foot, left foot braking for a long while. So what tends to happen is I normally get a bit of foot ache towards the end. But we'll see how it goes. But without further ado, let's jump into the race. What's going on, guys? This is NOCK. Welcome along to Formula 1. This is 2012, it's the last Formula 1 game I bought, but nonetheless, I'm an avid Formula 1 fan. Not done any racing for a very long time, as I explained at the beginning. And I've got the setup here, got the wheel out. We're going to hopefully have a good race here, guys. So I was going to do a full race. Unfortunately, I've not got enough time to do a full race now tonight. So I'm actually going to break myself in gently on a 50% or half race distance. The difficulty, as you can see here, guys, is all set on expert. There's no assists, etc., etc. This is how I always used to play when I was properly into the Formula 1 setting. The camera seems a bit close there. Let's move it away a little bit. It's my daughter's pram. So yeah, we're going to jump into this, guys, as Lotus, which are probably about the 5th best team on this. I'm going to play some Albert Park in Australia as well, just to... It's a track that I'm very familiar with. It's the first track on the calendar, so most people have played this and are familiar with the layout of the track. So, yes, ages since I played this game. Absolutely ages. So hopefully I can provide an entertaining race for you guys. I'm going to comment throughout. I will cut bits out if I feel it's necessary, just to kind of improve the video quality at the end for you guys as well. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be an entertaining race. We'll get lots of overtaking and different bits and pieces going on. So yeah, let's jump in. We're just about to get into the car. As you can see, Kim's getting in the car. So I've done a few laps just to bed myself in, because I know that when I've not used this steering wheel setup for a while, it absolutely kills my legs, and it takes a while to get used to right foot braking. So I've done probably about 10 laps just to try and bed myself in. But I feel that when this is done, my legs are going to be killing. I'm hardly going to be able to walk, so I've had that before. So let's take a quick look at this. We're going to start 6th on the grid. It's a 29 lap race now. The weather, no percent chance of rain, so we've got a dry race. That's good, that's good. It's good to know we've got a dry race. I've got a predefined setup here. I know I have an Albert Park, which is an oversteer setup, so changes to the balance and the suspension. And braking as well. We've pushed the braking back a little bit, just so that we know what we're doing. Let's check out what we're going to do for tyres and fuel. So it's literally a one-stop race. We're going to come in on lap 12 and fit the primes, and that's it. We've got normal race fuel, so depending on how aggressive we are on the fuel, we might have to do some fuel saving towards the end of the race, but we can see. So without further ado, we're starting from 6th. I probably won't talk too much at the beginning, guys, or during the launch phase. The launch is pretty hard. I just have to find the right point on the throttle to launch the car. So I am going to concentrate for the next sort of 30 seconds or so. Hamilton's on pole, as you can see. But yeah, as soon as we are going, and probably out the first 2 corners, then I'll try and pick the commentary up a bit as well. But nonetheless, let's prepare for the start. 4 lights, 5 lights, go. Ooh, very, very quick there. Trying to stay on the inside here, we lost a place to button. It was a pretty good launch though, I'll be honest. Oh, somebody's at the side of me. Button's gone wide. Well, not wide, yeah, it went wide. Teammate behind us. So far so good though, had a pretty good start. I was going to overshoot it into there. Thought I'd outbrake myself there. And Grosjean's packing some heat behind me. I feel like we're going to have a bit of the NOCK train going on here at the minute. Loser escaping me a bit at the minute. Going to the inside here to try and defend. To go to a rich fuel mix as well. Grosjean's turning. What? Grosjean turned into me in the corner. I gave him enough space, man. No fair. I hope Grosjean gets a penalty for that because he just turned into me. I gave him the space. Okay, let's not dwell on it too much. Yes, we've lost the places, but let's concentrate on getting some of them back. So who we've got in front of us? We've got Jean-Eric Vergne, the Toro Rosso in front of us. Wow, I was in a higher gear than I thought. I know roughly what gear I should be in at these corners, so I know how many downshifts to take, but I think I'm in... Feels like I was in 7th there. 7th gear, I should have only been in 6th. Very rare I get into 7th gear in that corner. Let's try and close the gap a bit, especially in the next lap, because then we've got DRS at the end of this lap enabled. But rather than closing, they seem to be pulling away from me, which isn't good. 3 seconds behind.
DRS has been enabled.
Try and settle into a routine and a rhythm. Maybe we can, just get some clean laps under our belt. You wait till after this race and I see Grosjean then.
Good pace, keep pushing.
Close the gap a bit through the first sector at least. Tricky corner, this one. If you, it's always critical to get a good exit into that entry into that second part of the chicane there. Two Toro Rossos in front of us. Don't think I was close enough though for DRS, unfortunately. Next up though, let's get another good lap, another clean lap under a belt.
By our estimation, Della Rossa should be coming in for tyres within the next 4 laps.
Keep doing what we're doing. 8 seconds off our best time on that lap, so that was a good lap. It always helps if you know what gear you're in. It's like you know how many downshifts to pull. I know what gear I should be in for all these corners, so...
That's Vern. Go for the overtake.
Less than a second behind now. Let's use some curves to try and get up down the back of them. Sorry if the volume is quiet as well, guys. I'm using my iPhone to record this because I haven't got my
ahead is slower in sector 2. See if you can pass him.
normal setup with me, so I have to concentrate for that corner every time. I have to really focus. I'm going to go to mix 3 here. Try and mount the overtake challenge. I do the squabble in front, which will like hold these guys up a bit. I'm losing time in the final sector, and that's where I'm kind of not. I'm losing out on the ability to use DRS. I need to try and improve in the final sector. I need to think about my curves deployment maybe. Try and get up a bit closer to them, or a bit closer this time around here. Five laps in there, guys. We're on lap 5, and I think we're doing pretty well. I would like to think that we're doing pretty well. That's what I mean about this corner, though. It's not going to help our charge for catching this group in front. Man, we've lost so much time because that one mistake through the start of the last sector there. 2.5 seconds, just over 2.5 seconds.
Take this guy.
He's telling me to go mix 3. Still got 5 laps of fuel, so got plenty of fuel on board. Took my eye off the game there for a minute. I thought I was missed the braking. Oh, we've got a blower up there. Nico Hulkenberg has blown an engine by the looks of it on the inside of the track there. Some solid laps again, solid laps. Went lap in the 135s.
We're only 2 seconds behind this guy. Keep pushing.
We're on the fuel. I think we're closing the gap a bit. I'd like to think we are. But then that would suggest otherwise we've dropped into the 134 zone now for the first time in the race, which is good. Far too early at that corner there. Go back down to standard for a little bit. Got into 7th gear there, I noticed. Quarter of the way through the Grand Prix at the end of this lap. Maldonado is setting the fastest lap. Okay, Grosjean has got past Ricciardo.
The gap to the car ahead is around 2 seconds.
Six-second lead over De La Rosa behind us. They just settle down a bit more, I think, and just attack the braking points a bit more. I think that's where I'm losing out. It's quite nice attack. I think they must have turned up the revs in front of me.
We think Ricciardo's due to stop sometime in the next few laps.
It's certainly far too slow into turn 1. A lot more aggressive into there, but that might come as the fuel load comes down as well. Just literally pulled like 4 seconds out of me.
Be aware,
front
we think the
turn
car
1
behind
here.
is trying to save fuel.
Oh, I couldn't brake. What the?
You're locking your front tyres. Try adjusting the brake balance back.
Well, that's lost the place. The car wasn't slowing down at all. Just it didn't seem like it wanted to slow at all. So. No. No. Already we're 5 seconds behind Perez, wow. I really need a sturdier setup here because this steering wheel's like moving all over the place, man.
There is a gap of about 7 seconds between you and the car ahead.
What did a break? Okay, let's go. Let's have an early pit. I'm gonna go for an early pit stop. Oh, I've got to change the strategy. Oh, man, my legs are killing me. Perez is like flying. If he's put the primes on, the prime is definitely the tyre to be on at the moment. Okay. Careful out the pits.
Remember to stay inside the white line or we'll get a penalty. You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
Okay, so we're coming 2 laps early. Careful to warm the tyres up. Hard compound tyres normally take longer to warm than soft, so get them working nice and slowly. Which they are now.
The tyres have picked up some marbles. Keep to the racing line and wear them off.
The key to getting around that corner there is to definitely aim for the bollard. DRS there, I mean, sorry, Perez there.
He's trying to close the gap. Watch out for the car behind. He's only 2 seconds down on you. He might try and overtake if you make a mistake.
I'm going to try not to make a mistake, Mr. Race Engineer. Okay. Slowly catching on Glock. Oh no, I've braked myself into the corner, of course I did. Pops in the pits though. Couple of places there.
You're on the slower tyre, but you're maintaining the gap to the car ahead, so we're very happy. This is good.
Petrov is like 11.5 seconds nearly down the road, so we need to try and... Oh man. Little lock up there into that corner, but I don't know why I went into 7th gear there, because it totally... ruined what I was trying to do. So we're back into 17th place.
Within the next 5 laps. Massa into the pits in the next 5 laps.
Gap to Master is 23 seconds. So I would say Master has already been in the pits, Mr. Engineer. Not about to pit. This is what I was saying. I think I was saying this earlier on, that the engineer is cool, but the stuff that the engineer comes out with is just completely not a garbage most of the time. Like he tells you that the car in front is about to pit when he's already just been in the pits.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
This section was terrible. It's not really doing any good at all. Under immense pressure here. Go to the inside.
We've moved down to 18th.
Wow, how did I get the car stopped?
Race pace. Good job.
That was a bold move. Not quite sure how I managed to keep it on the track, to be fair. Now's not the time to get complacent though, because
You need to increase the gap. You're within 1 second of the car behind. He will use DRS.
good exit. I need to try. Okay, here's battle number 2. Who's going to win the battle down to turn 3?
There's one of
Again.
the Force India cars ahead of you.
Let's bring the revs down.
Rossa's just behind you. He's 1 second behind.
Need to keep these revs down because we may need to use that fuel mix to defend with.
The gap to the car behind is less than a second. Be aware he may use DRS in an attempt to pass.
It's going to get to a point though where he's going to be turning down the revs. He can't run at high fuel forever. Just need to keep defending. Keep defending. Comes Act 3, but we've got a bit of a bigger gap against him this time.
Stop for new tyres within the next 3 laps.
So as smooth as I've taken turn 3, I think.
The car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
Didn't expect to be battling a HRT, that's for sure. Get a bit of speed as we go towards the end of Sector 2. Oh, we've got over a second's gap, so if we can concentrate now for this last sector. Gonna have DRS. It's gonna be catching, not before we get to this corner though. And stay to the inside, now I'm gonna go back into the racing line. Some good defensive driving going on at the minute.
Just behind you. He's 1 second behind.
Looking at those fastest laps that are coming in, I think we're going to be caught up by the front runners any time soon. I think we're starting to stretch a bit of a gap. Don't want to speak too soon though. Right on my tail here.
Okay, we need you to make way for the car behind.
Let Lewis pass, we're a lap down, so we can afford to go to -1 laps now on the dash, so I'll try and do a few more of these laps. And then we'll go into hammer time. Oh dear, we got a problem. Whoa. Sorry guys. Oh, my ass. Never raced with face cam before, so it's never had to. Never been an issue too.
Just behind you. He's 1 second behind.
I think we've got a comfortable gap. And a 132.9. We're just dipped into the 132s.
The car behind is on standard revs. Car behind is running standard revs.
We're on like a net lap 21 then, because we've been lapped.
Della Rossa's just behind you. He's 1 second behind.
It's quite bad that I can't shape the HRT though. And now that he's switched to standard revs, it's starting to drop back a bit. So we're going into pits there. That's Della Rosa.
Della Rosa is fitting the option tyre to his car. He's going for a shorter stint. You need to let the car behind you pass. He's not racing you for position.
Come on then. I'm off the racing line, come on. That's annoying because I was just in a groove and I was starting to catch Massa. I always think though that blue flags are a bit too... almost a bit unnecessary in Formula 1. At the end of the day, if you've got a faster car, get round them. So if you weren't paying attention a minute ago, I've just cranked the fuel mix up to fast. Try and get some good laps in now. Okay, comfortable gap to cover line, and we're pretty much running our own race now. Got cover line about 15 seconds behind us. Almost 16, looking at the timing screens there. don't see that we're going to be able to pull a gap back to Massa. He must have had like a calamity on the opening couple of laps. I thought he'd just like he would make his places back up again as other people were pitting, but doesn't seem like he has been doing so. Certainly going for the hammer time lapse now. We're in the 32.3s. Back marker approaching from behind though. Got like 2 seconds out on Cove Line in that lap alone. Already nearly half a second up on this lap.
We have a little bit of spare fuel. We should keep an eye on it over the next few laps.
Massa is absolutely flying. He must have option tyres on. He is flying. Then again, I couldn't quite make it into 31s. About to be caught up again. We're going to show some blue flags again in a minute.
You and the car behind. 20 seconds. Blue flag conditions. Let the car immediately behind through. You're not racing him.
Let the cars past. Stay out of the way of the corner. Reapply the throttle. Okay, we actually got a bit sideways there. And now I've overcooked it. It's the only problem with when you pull over for the leaders, and you move off the racing line, you lose your braking lines of sight. The positive, if you was behind, less than 1 second behind one of them when you go over the detection point, you get DRS. I never really understood why they couldn't. They always say it's like really complicated and they can't work out why, whether it's a back marker and if the leader is getting. So I always thought it was unfair. If a leader is overtaking a back marker and is less than 1 second behind the detection point, they obviously get DRS, which is an advantage to them. And then, like, if that back marker say pits, then chasing car doesn't get that advantage. And they've always said in Formula 1 that we can't do it, it's too complicated to work out. But I don't understand why it's so complicated to work out, because at the end of the day, it's a computer system, right? And sorry, I'm concentrating through these corners. It's a computer system, and F1 is based on time, right? So surely this computer will know if it's like XYZ seconds ahead or behind or whatever, then it's a back marker, the lap and a back marker, and not to give them the DRS. But clearly the boffins at F1
okay,
think
we need you to make way for the car behind.
it's too complicated to work out, and can't be done. Anyway though, we are effectively on lap 27 here, so we've got the last 3 laps of the race for us. Not really making any headway on Senna here at all. But yeah, I'll definitely be having words with my teammate when I get out of this car as to why he cost me my... I gave him plenty of room. I'm sure the TV replays will have justified that for me. Oh dear.
There's a 12-second gap to the car behind.
Kovalainen is putting the throttle down. We are in danger here of losing. Our 16th place. We need to buckle down for these last 2 laps. Stop thinking about Grosjean for now. What's done is done. Can't be undone and all that sort of thing. 2 laps. Let's knuckle down for these last 2 laps. Man, we lost like 14 seconds on that lap. It's going to be tight. Okay, we've got 2-second gap now to Kovalainen. Here we're saying we've got a comfortable gap. I blame the commentator's curse. We have still got some fuel in the tank, so we can revert back to mix 3. Probably about a second out there over Kovalainen. I'll keep it steady on this last lap. I think he's going to get hampered by back markers, to be fair, so he's got the blue flags. Let's go Rich.
We might need to think about moving to fuel mix mode 2 in the next few laps.
There's only 1 lap left, Mr. Engineer Man. As nice as your suggestion is, I saved a little bit of fuel for this exact situation here, where on the last lap it's going to get a bit hairy. We need to maintain the gap, focus, whittle down. Lewis Hamilton takes the win.
You have a 4-second lead over the car behind. 4 seconds.
Okay, we've got 4.5 seconds. Surely I can't mess this one up, can I? going to let you pass because I'm about to cross the finish line. There we go, guys. Oh. So unfortunately we didn't drop into the 131s. We lost 10 positions from our starting position. And yeah, Grosjean there. He wasn't in the points, but he was 12th, and he almost lapped us as well. Looking at the timing screens, he was like 1 minute and 10 behind us. But that was a really tough race. Rosberg retired as well. That was a really tough race. To be fair, didn't get helped by our teammate. Our teammate screwed us over at the beginning of the race. I'm sure I'm showing lots and lots of replays of that exact moment where we left him space, but he didn't leave us space. So I'm sure you've seen that to death. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the race, guys. I really did enjoy the race, even if I have got like a numb bum and I probably can't even walk anymore. But yeah, I'll bring you some more races real soon, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope the commentary was good. Hope you, hope it was good for you. I don't know what's in and what's out because I haven't obviously done the post-production on it yet. But yeah, let me know, guys, any particular races you would like to see, or any particular cars you'd like to see me drive. Let me know in the comment section below. If you've got any good setups, etc., let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I've been NOCK. Until the next time, happy gaming.